Matchday 17 in the Canadian Premier League kicked off with the Salish Sea Derby with Pacific FC taking on Vancouver FC. And Terry Dunfield's men came into this game without Tuali or Bustos, and it saw them with a formation change. And Vancouver FC found it very hard to cope with this formation change as they were looking for their sixth win on the bounce, and Pacific FC was still searching for their first win of the season. And clearly, that formation change gave Vancouver a tough time because if you look at most of their chances in the first half, they came from long balls and Vancouver winning the second ball and then building on from there. Because Pacific's pressing structure made it difficult for Vancouver to build up from the back as they usually do. And we start here with the shot from Pechile early on, which is a shot from way out the box. And again, Pacific were quite compact in their defense and not allowing Vancouver to play through them through their press or link up any passes to create any meaningful chances. Once again, Vancouver went long and won the first ball of Muse, who was able to lay it off to Pechile, who took the ball on and got his shot on target. That seemed to be Vancouver's best route and attacking Pacific FC in the first half. But then Vancouver tried to revert to their regular ways by building up from the back. Chernobyl tried to carry as he's really good at, but Pacific were able to squeeze in the midfield, win the ball in a very dangerous area. And I want to note Krat and Daniels, who were the two forwards in that 4-2-2-2 formation. And in the goal, after Pacific win the ball back, they are quite tight to each other and they can play off each other. And Krat gets the ball at the edge of the box in front of Donner, and he cuts in on his right foot and whips in a very fantastic finish at the bottom corner. And there was not much Irving could do about the fantastic finish. And that made it a goal and an assist for Krat in his 2 games. And just like that, Pacific FC were a goal to the good. And I also want to highlight Vancouver's defensive line because Forge FC found it really hard to break through that line. And again, you can see the discipline, the back four not too far from each other. But again, it was just a moment of brilliance from Krat as he was able to fashion up an opening and drive a very well worked shot in the bottom corner, something that Forge FC weren't able to do last weekend that Pacific were able to conjure up this week against Vancouver. And with that goal, Pacific now started having a bit more confidence. Their tails were up, and they came again at Vancouver once again down that left side with Josh Hurd back in the side, playing a nice interchange with Krat before drilling a very nice shot, which Irving saves. But again, look at Krat and Daniels, both very close to each other. Even though Edwards was not part of the play this time, their positioning in that new formation meant they were always able to find each other somewhere in and around the box to create more openings and play off of each other. And this time, Hurd played off of Krat to fashion the second best opening of the first half for Pacific FC. And before the half ran out, Vancouver fashioned one more chance, and you can see they struggled to get the ball in this area through the build-up. But once they were able to connect those passes, ball into Ba, who plays a good ball into Donner on the right side, and he's able to get the ball into the box where Pechile again is found and he cannot get the shot on target. But again, this just highlights how the first half went. Vancouver were unable to play through Pacific's press and had to resort to the long balls. But the few chances they were able to connect those passes, they were able to make box entries and get the shot away. Just on this time, they were not able to hit the target. We go into the second half and Pacific again came out with more impetus, and you could tell they really wanted to get this win. And Krat again being at the center of everything good for Pacific got their first shot away in the 50th minute. A nice pop shot just from the edge of the box, but who couldn't keep the ball low enough to cause Irving any trouble. At this point, Pacific FC have taken off their main goal threat, Krat, but Hurd finds himself again in a good position, once again off a turnover from Muse this time, and they lay the ball off into Josh Hurd, who should have done better and should have at least hit the target. But was there a foul by Pechile? In my opinion, I thought that was a foul, but it was not given. But Josh Hurd would be very disappointed in himself because he had 2 really good chances down the left-hand side in both halves, but he was not able to make either of them count. In the dying embers of the game now, and Pacific had taken off most of their threats on the field. Hurd was off, Krat was off. So now Vancouver had a bit more impetus to come at them, and Pacific were retreating, hoping they could see this win over the lines. But every time Pacific think there's a goal, the football gods give them this look. And just like that, Pacific threw away the lead once again in the dying minutes, as I always mention with Pacific FC, defensive lapses at the end of the game. And granted, it was a fantastic finish from Campbell, balling from the left side and a very improvised acrobatic finish to send the ball into the bottom corner. And not much him or else could have done about it. But again, Pacific FC, so much hard work, that they've put into the game to getting a lead and they throw it away just like that. A lapse of concentration, which Terry Dunfield will feel very frustrated and very hard done by. But for Vancouver, again, on the other hand, this shows why they have been on this really good undefeated run because they have a never say die attitude mixed with a defense that keeps them in games. And if they can fashion one chance, just like they did with Campbell, they're always sure to at least create some danger or get something out of the game. So the Salish Sea Derby ended Vancouver FC 1 and Pacific FC 1, keeping Vancouver FC in third position, while Pacific ain't nothing changed since then.